And we are live. What's going on, team? Johnny Trades back with another live day trading session. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. Today is Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, and it is 7:26 my time. So markets will be opening in just a couple of minutes. Markets are actually pushing up in the pre-market session, curling over a bit from that 617 resistance, as we've seen from the last couple days. To be honest, it's having trouble trying to break above this level, so we'll see what it does this morning. Let's see, some news as to why the markets are actually bullish would be the fact that, let me go over here to trade ideas in the Discord. Would be breaking, whoa, there we go. Breaking news, the U.S. economy added 130,000 jobs in January, crushing expectations of 55,000. The unemployment rate fell to 4.3%, below expectation of 4.4%. This was a much stronger than expected job report all around the board. The Fed pause will continue as far as the interest rate cut decisions. So yeah, that's what's kind of going on this morning. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning. Bitcoin has a nice little pump, to say the least, this morning, so we'll see how that ends up playing out. All right, perfect. There we go. Everything's set up on my end. So we'll see. Let's see if the markets begin to push higher at 617, or does this get rejected even more? Also, crypto pushed up slightly this morning above that moving average to 68,500. We'll see if it retests this support level and moving average as a support. Remember, this can push up to 71-ish before it decides to sell off. So I'm interested to see what happens here. There is obviously just as much downside potential as there is upside potential, but Bitcoin itself has been selling off. So I'd love to see it sell off a little bit more. MSTR pushing up with QQQ and Bitcoin pre-market up to 135, just shy of 135. Which means MSTU pushed up from 495 to 550. MSTZ got a high of 1452 yesterday from lows of 1237. That was a nice 17% profit overnight, but has dropped since down to $13.09, pushing up slightly to 1334. So we'll see what happens here. Does Bitcoin continue to push up or sell off? As well as QQQ. Are we going to see that upward momentum? If so, then I would love to, of course, short MSTR if it does. All right, market is open. Let's see how it reacts. Andrew said, I did buy MSTU pre-market before the pump. Nice. Yeah, and it could rally for a little bit, and then it could begin to sell off. I think it's going to rally a little bit with QQQ as long as we could break 617 resistance. But it looks like it's struggling pre-market, and there we go. We're going to get the break above. So markets are going to remain bullish for a little bit. Markets are in the green, up about 1%. We'll see how long this remains bullish. Crypto holding above the 45 EMA. So if this can actually surpass this mark, it could sell off, or if it holds, this can begin to push up higher. MST's up to 1360. Could also be a bull trap, right? Overbought reversal forming on QQQ. As you can see here on the 1 minute, big rejection. No change in direction just yet. It's still above that 45 EMA. But if we get a break below the 45 EMA, we can see, a small sell-off here. Bitcoin slightly pushing up. Being patient here. I want to take a trade on MSTZ. I just don't know if I'm going to. Looks like QQQ is going to sell off. See if we get this support here. Begins to push up higher or not. Bitcoin slightly selling off. MSTR selling off big time. Oh man, I missed that move. I was considering buying MSTZ at 13 pre-market, but I thought it could get a little bit cheaper. We'll see if this isn't a bear trap and it begins to rally and push higher, or if this was the bull trap and begins to sell off. It looks like it is going to continue to sell off here. Wow. I missed that move. Totally missed that move on MSTZ. Dollar per share. Still a lot more downside. Man, totally missed that move. Now I don't even want to trade it because it's... Wow, beautiful. Hood. Oh wow, Hood selling off a little bit. Would you try to sell pre-market or sell during overnight hours? Or did you try to sell yesterday? Sound down to $8. Yep, QQQ breaking. Very nice downside here. Wow, crazy, crazy. MSTR trying to find some support at 129. Bitcoin selling off. Yeah, that was a beautiful move right there. From 1309 to 1412. It's $1 per share or 7% on MSTZ. Right now. Oh, wow. There might not be any buyers. I mean, obviously there probably is, but also, did you have a limit order or did you try to sell at a market order? Yeah, strong reversal starting to form here. oversold reversal on MSTR. Be careful. This can pump all the way back up. You know, do your part by locking in profits or reducing your position. Yeah, I can't believe Hood is down 10%. That's insane. And I watched the entire Hood earnings call live stream where Vlad talked a lot about some of the new features and products they're going to be rolling out for 2026. I mean, seems still like a strong market. I think it says day trading blocked. Whoa. For Hood? Hood's trying to hold shares so it doesn't sell off more. Let me see. If I were to sell one. I don't really want to sell one, but that's weird. Are you using a margin account or are you using a cash account? Netflix down, SoFi down, AG&C is up. Yeah, MSTZ is up as well, 14.15. Man, I thought about taking a trade here too, and I just didn't. I'm not sure. Up here on the right hand side, does it say individual cash? Or does it say individual margin? Here we go. Be careful. This can begin to push up higher. If we test this as moving average. Man, I'm really kicking myself in the head today. We saw this overbought reversal forming for QQQ. We saw Bitcoin beginning to curl over as well. Man, I think cash. Yeah, that's weird. If it's a cash account, it should let you. Hood might be blocking it. We'll see if we get any reports of it. Let's see. Hood comments. Let's see. I'll leave a comment here underneath the I'll leave a comment and we'll see what happens. QQQ continuing to sell off. 614. Man, this is unfortunate. I really did want to buy some MSTZ today. Still has potential, you know, some big downside potential still here. Just, I don't know if it's going to bounce off of this level like it did the last two times, or if it's going to sell off, but it shot right up when it hit this moving average for Bitcoin. What a beautiful move on MSTZ. Even buying right at the open, that was $1 per share. Wow. Beautiful. I mean, QQQ's pushing up. Yep, QQQ curling back over. Let's see if it holds or if it begins to sell off more. Whoa, still continuing. I'm gonna buy 10 shares. Probably gonna hate myself for it, but Bitcoin continuing to sell off. What a move, though. What a move. Dollar per share. Bitcoin is breaking that structure, though, so we could see some more selling pressure. QQQ trying to push up. Man, I can't believe that. That is unfortunate. Oh, my buddy Drew got a pattern day trading warning. Yeah. So, yeah, this has also happened to me before. On a cash account, this can happen. Okay, this can happen on any platform. So you may have already used your day trades. Like you might still have cash available, but you can't use unsettled funds. So say you had $100 in buying power, you would not be able to sell it and then buy back with the 100. Even though it says you have 100 in buying power, you can still, if it's not settled funds. So if you go to your account over here, click on that, it'll say uh, settled funds. Let me see, I'll pull it up real quick. Yeah, it'll say settled cash, unsettled cash, cash balance, buying power. So if you have um, unsettled cash, then you wouldn't be able to technically get out of that trade either, especially if you did it 3 times. Now you could push it through, but I think you only get 3 of those, or else you'll get a what is it called? A GVF. GVF. Let me see. So you could only basically trade with settled funds. Where is it? Yeah, GVF would be a good faith violation, or GFV. Um, so good faith violations. You could have 3 good faith violations in 12 months, which basically means unsettled funds will not be available for trading until the closing trades settle. If you receive a fifth GFV, your account would be restricted to liquidation only. So it's okay if you get 3 of them, right? Because I did that at the beginning to where I had no choice with the day trade. I got I did a day trade, I got in and then I got out, and then I bought again and sold and got a good faith violation using unsettled funds. They just don't like that unless you're in a margin account where you can trade continuously over and over and over. And then once you get 3 of them, you won't even be able to have that as an option to where, okay, hey, I'm gonna get back in on this. I did a day trade. So basically I bought here, I sold here, right? That's one. Now I used all my money, and now I have some unsettled funds available to use. Now say I bought in again, hey, I'm going to buy in here, and I'm actually going to swing trade this. You know, I'm going to hold it till tomorrow. But say the trade goes south on you and you want to just get out, then that would give you a good faith violation because you traded a second day trade in the same day with unsettled funds, right? So it's not a bad feature if you want to day trade and then get into a swing trade for the next day because you're going to sell it the next day. But yeah, you can't technically do that. You could do it 3 times and then it'll go south on you. So Bitcoin continuing to sell off. Really want to add some more. Bitcoin. Markets can technically push up. See if it comes back up for a retest here for QQQ. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you, friend. It's happened to me before too. Especially with small accounts, you know, we just have to make sure that we have available funds to be day trading, especially multiple day trades. You know, it can be very frustrating when you have an opportunity and then, you know, it doesn't necessarily go according to plan, so you get out and then you try to get back in and then you get hit with one of those, and that could be devastating, especially if you're in, you know, a trade that you don't necessarily believe in or you don't want to hold. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold it probably until tomorrow, right? I don't know why you'd receive that message unless you bought and sold something today, or like you added a share to Hood today. Yeah, that is very odd, my friend. Bitcoin selling off a little bit more. I'm gonna buy 10 more shares of MSTZ. Ooh, that was loud. Let me turn that down. There we go. Yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, dang. I'm not sure why it wouldn't let you sell Hood though, unless you bought one share of Hood today, like pre-market or at some point today. I don't see why it wouldn't let you sell Hood. Did you buy Hood at any point during overnight hours or pre-market hours today? I only have 2 good shares that are down $25 each. Good morning, everyone. Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck. What's up, Tom? That's just weird though. Like if you didn't buy any today, then it should let you sell them today. But say you bought one share today and you tried to sell, that's a day trade. But if you had them since a few days from now or even since yesterday, it should have let you sold. That's very interesting. Bitcoin continuing to sell off, which means MSTR should have another leg down as well. QQQ, I'd love to see QQQ sell off a little bit more here. Bitcoin really selling off today. That's what we wanted to see. I missed I missed the initial move, but I'd love to see this begin to fall more because then we could catch a bigger move on this, right? So, just missing, honestly, I missed $1 per share today. Technically, if you want to get more technical, I lost about $1.28 per share. I didn't lose, but I missed out on that opportunity. So now I have 20 shares. What's my average? 20 shares at 14.11. So I got a 14.11 average on 20 shares of MSTZ. Now this can still potentially push up higher, right? There's nothing saying that when Bitcoin sells off, this couldn't very easily push up another 1% or $1 or $2 per share, maybe even $3 per share back up to 17. That'd be a 22% profit. I mean, heck, we can even see this thing go back up to $30, if Bitcoin and MSTR really sell off, which would be about 115%. That would be insane. That would mean $16 per share, 20 shares. Like $320 on less than a $300 position. So, it's definitely very possible. Obviously, there's downside with that as well. But it looks like Bitcoin is trying to find some support here. It could find support and rally all the way back up. That's why this is a risky trade. And we could have made our money and bounced this morning, right? If I would have been a little bit more, I guess, confident in my trade. I saw this pre-market. I was looking at it around 7 o'clock. I seen it selling off, seen it getting lower and lower. I even put a limit to buy around 13. And I was like, no, take the limit order out. And then the lowest it got was 13.09. And I was like, just buy some shares here. Even if it's like 10 shares, just buy anything. And then I held. It started pushing up. And then I didn't buy into it. But 13.09 to 14.30, 9% profit, $1 per share on 100 shares. That would have been $100 in less than, geez Louise, in less than 20 minutes. Now it still has opportunity to make some other moves here. Doesn't mean it has to, but it does have some opportunity to make some moves. Bitcoin just kind of holding on right here at 67,000. QQQ struggling to make new highs, so I do like this as far as helping out our MSTZ position. If this continues to kind of fade down and fade below, or get a nice little sell-off here, this would help with our MSTZ position, as this would force MSTR down with it. Let's take a look at a few other companies today as far as where they are this week. Looks like Plug Power is right back to Monday's support of $2 and a penny. Sound selling off very aggressively down to 786. It's down almost 5% today. AGNC pushing up from lows of $11. American Airline testing a $15 support. SoFi down to $20.73, so it's down about 2%. Netflix trying to hold above $81, so slightly higher than Monday's low of $79.80. Hood, of course, down, missed its earnings yesterday, or it beat its revenue and missed its earnings per share. I did a whole video on it if you want to go back and watch it. They are down 10% this morning. Disney higher than it was on Monday, so that's nice to see. Oracle trading flat. Nvidia hitting some resistance around 192 like it has been for the last 3 days. It can't get above 192 for some reason. Amazon down to 205. Not quite as low as Monday's 203 level. Apple pushing up, breaking out of its resistance of 274, now up to about 276. AMD kind of trading sideways. AVGO trading sideways. Google selling off. Tesla pushing up. Each day it's pushed up higher. It started Monday at 407. It's now at 432. Microsoft selling off this morning. Down to 407. And Meta kind of just trading sideways here. So there we go. QQQ selling off, retesting this moving average. Big selling pressure here. All the way down to 613. We'll see if this holds, which means MSTR will begin to sell off more as well. Bitcoin is selling off. So we got a little skin in the game. Up 1.5%, $4 on 20 shares. Nothing too crazy, guys. Nothing crazy at all. Should have bought more, but I'm being cautious of buying 10 share increments. I believe it's a good way to ease ourselves into this position. I really don't want to buy more at these overbought levels. Not really. What else are some other companies you guys are watching today? Yeah, basically right back down on Hood too. Doing really good on Hood as it was recovering. Um, Tom said trading sand. Do you mean SanDisk? Or San Banco Santarde? Oh, okay. Have I seen this before? What is this? Retail and commercial bank. Is this the one you're talking about? From Spain? Okay. That's interesting. Oh wow, I could see, when was when did you buy into this? I'd love to know. Are you day trading this? Are you swing trading it? Even if you bought it $10 to 13, that's about a 28% profit in 70 days, so about 2 months. Or are you trading this today? Are you shorting it? Let me know. It just says trading sand. Just even the right company? Because I know some people mean SanDisk. SNDK. Then again, you didn't put SD and K. Although it does say SAN on it, SanDisk. And even this one's up 10%. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Up 12%. Holy moly. Andrew said picked up some StubHub. Okay. StubHub Holdings. All right. So it looks like, Andrew, you like to go for some of these cheaper ones. Makes sense. You did see that there was a rejection, some consolidation, and then the beginning stages of a confirmation period. Right? I could see that here. That's beautiful. You got your sell-off, your first stage. Got your second stage, which is the consolidation period. And now we're starting to see signs of the third stage, which is the confirmation period. So I like to see it. See what happens here. All right. Tom put, my bad, yeah, SanDisk, haha. Oh, okay. I was like, I've never heard of anyone trading Banco Santarde, Santander. Although, hey, it wouldn't be a bad trade, right? Buying at $2 and selling at 13. You know, not bad at all. Looks like it pays a dividend as well every quarter, 13 cents. But yeah, I kind of thought at first you were talking about SanDisk. Even this one, a great trade today, great move. Pushed all the way up to that moving average, which is insane. Like clockwork, pushed right up to it. Now it's getting rejected. So, you know, are you going to be locking in profits, or are you trying to hold for some more upside? Because it's up, you know, 11, 12% this morning. Testing this moving average. Are you going to try and hold it for the break above, or are you locking in profits as a day trade? Are you long-term trading it? Are you shorting it? You know, I still only know half of what I think you're doing, right? You could be trying to short this. So Bitcoin continuing to sell off. MSTR making new lows to 127.50. So it makes our MSTZ position better. We're up 3% on a very small trade. Man, should have bought some more. I hate when that happens, right? Up $1.50 per share, 11%. You can't catch them all perfectly, right? QQQ also breaking its support and continuing to sell off even more as well. Okay, bought some yesterday, holding long term. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Long term hold on some SanDisk. Bought the dip, it looks like. Pretty cool. VOYG. Voyager Technologies. Okay. All right. Defense Technology Space Company. Cool. Okay. Nice. Looks like it has a descending pattern right now. But if we can get back above, this can run up pretty nice. MSTR, let's see if it holds support here on the 30-minute. Or does it continue to sell off? 1462. Up $10, about 3.25%, almost 4%. Still dropping. QQQ. Let's see if it holds support here on this moving average, or does it break below? I'd love to see another leg down. This would just give us more validation for our MSTR short. There we go. Looks like it's breaking that support. Probably going to hate myself for doing this, but we're going to sell 10 shares right here. You know what? We're going to do a stop today. We're going to do a stop limit today on 19 shares, up 4%. We got a 15-cent stop here. So if it goes down to 14.50, we'll stop out and we will make money. So we are in the green on this trade, no matter what happens. As this continues to sell off, I will continue to raise the stop loss as long as this continues to sell off. QQQ looks like it's trying to recover though, so I don't like to see that. I'd love to see another leg down here. Excuse me guys, I gotta blow my nose. I'll let you guys watch MSTZ push up even higher, up $12. Let's go 1460 as a stop. So we'll either lock that in or push higher. All right. What did I miss? Up 13, 4.63%. A very small trade, guys. I mean, it's almost nothing as far as money goes. It is almost nothing. Here we go. Bitcoin's still selling off. Love to see this. This is a huge move, and I'm glad we were able to catch a piece of it. We might have not have caught all of it. Right? Now up 13% or 10% on the day. We didn't catch the whole move, but we did catch a piece of it, which I am at least happy enough to say we were able to catch a piece of this move. 1411, it wasn't the best entry, but I did wait for validation of support at 1411. So, I mean, we still did a great job by buying when it made sense to us. You know, we're up 5% on it, caught half of this trade. It didn't make sense to me if it was selling off, right? Bitcoin was also pushing up, so it could have pushed up much higher. Also on the, what was it, the 30 minute, on the 5 minute, it was above this moving average for the first time in a while. So I was like, well, this could actually consolidate, push up higher. Instead, it pushed up, nice little bull trap, and got rejected. And so, you know, still, we traded when direction was in our favor. We weren't trying to trade, you know, at an all-time high where it could have began to push up higher, right? We waited for confirmation that direction was in the direction we wanted it to take when it made sense to us, and that's when we took that trade. MSTR continuing to sell off, up $15. We're just going to go ahead and raise our stop again, another 10 cents to 1470. As this pushes higher, we can continue to raise the stop even more. QQQ continuing to sell off. Doesn't mean it has to continue to sell off, but it could, right? Or it begins to push back up. That's what's so great about trading. You know, there is no right way or wrong way. I mean, there's probably plenty of wrong ways to do it, but there's really no perfect way to trade, right? Someone who bought 1,000 shares of this easily could have made, you know, $1,000 in a very small amount of time. Someone who even, you know, bought 100 shares could have made $100 and already been out of the trade, and then been upset with FOMO that they missed out on another $60, right? Someone could still be in on this trade and they're up $200 today. So that's why trading is so fun, so rewarding. There's so many different ways. We're going to raise this up another 10 cents to 1480 as this just crossed over to 1490. And again, it's a very small amount of money, guys. I wish I would have got in with more, but it just doesn't make sense to me to buy more shares at these elevated levels, right? I'm not going to try to give back by forcing it, chasing this basically dragon. And there we go. We're going to get stopped. There we go. Not a bad trade. Okay. So we did our part by still making a trade today. We have swing trades that we're holding. We still were able to make a day trade today, lock in, you know, $14 or just shy of 5%. It's not the biggest move in the world, but, you know, either way, we were able to participate in that move itself. So we're going to go ahead and sell our last share just to get out of this position. And there we go. So we locked in a few bucks today. Again, it wasn't anything crazy, nothing to really, write home about. The point was, making the 4%, right? 4 to 5% gain. Imagine 4% on $100. That's about $4, right? It's not much. Um, I guess that was a little bit more. I guess that was around 5%, wasn't it? So let's just say 5%. 5% on $100 is $5. On $1,000, it's $50. On $2,000, now you're talking $100. You know, on $10,000, we're talking $500, right? So either way, make sure that you guys do your part by managing your risk. If the trade is going against you, do not hesitate to cut losses. You do not want to hold a bad trade, turn a day trade into a swing trade, and then regret doing so. Instead of cutting your losses at 1% or 2%, understanding that, hey, I have a small loss today, but that's a lot better versus a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% loss because you didn't cut your losses on a bad trade. Now, swing trading is a little different, right? Swing trading comes with a lot of different other criterias, right? Being down 5%, you add another share or two. Being down 10, 20%, you add a couple more shares. As long as you believe in that swing trade. Swing trades tend to take a little bit longer to play out, and sometimes the volatility is too extreme for most beginners. That's why I don't recommend swing trading to most of my beginners unless you really are confident in the company that you're swing trading, and when you're really confident and you know what you're doing. Okay, day trading could be a lot easier. You buy, you sell, you take profits, you cut your losses, you have a set criteria. Swing trading could be extremely a whole nother world, guys. You could swing trade a company, sell it on the dip, and it pushes up double what you were in on the next day or the next week or month. So you got to have your systems. You got to make sure that you're following them. Bitcoin continuing to sell off. We got stopped out a little bit too early at what, 1480. I should have made a little bit more of a maybe like 15 cents instead of 10 cents cushion. That way I wouldn't have got stopped out and we could continue following this up. MSTZ just hit $15 on the day, guys. This was literally a $2 move, 15%, and we only captured about 5% of this move, which is still good, but it's not great, right? 15% would have been much better, especially on 200 bucks. That would have been about $30 instead of around 15 bucks. So Andrew, but how do I get out when the system is against me and not letting me sell my profits? Yeah, you might even want to call tech support on that one. Maybe you can call WEBULL, or you can because that really should not be happening to you, especially if you didn't buy any today. So I would definitely look into that a little bit more on your side. I could do a little bit of research for you as well. But yeah, that does not make any sense to me either. Bitcoin finding some support at 65.9. MSTR finding some support around 125. MSTZ beginning to curl over slightly, which means maybe QQQ is trying to hold at around 609. So, Andrew, I'll try to do my part by doing some research on that. But yeah, just what I stated earlier about the fact that you could get a good faith violation, or the fact that you're just not able to day trade it because you took too many day trades. Make sure you are in a cash account, not a margin account, because if it's a margin account, you can only have 3 day trades. Even though it may not be a day trade, that just that really doesn't make sense to me, honestly. That's a weird one for me. Okay, watch your eyeballs. I'm gonna bring this up for you. Day trading rules. How many day trades can I have? So cash account, unlimited day trades are allowed using settled funds. Using unsettled funds may trigger a good faith violation. Obviously, if you have over 25,000, you can have unlimited day trades on a margin account. If you're under 25,000, you're limited to 3 day trades in a 5 business day period. Exceeding this limit triggers a pattern day trader. You can check to see how many day trades you have left in a margin account. During a equity maintenance call is issued, day trading is not allowed. Buying power does not replenish after closing a position. Usually takes a day to 3 days to reset a PDT. But if you said you're in a cash account, a lot of this would not apply to you. So I'm curious, if you find out any more information about it, let me know. And I could help you kind of dig in and see what's going on with that. That's weird. I've never heard of that before. Bitcoin finding some support. MSTR beginning to curl over. Make sure you guys do your part by locking in profits when you see fit. I know I already did. Make sure you're locking in profits when it makes sense, and you are cutting your losses when it makes sense, guys, okay? I would hate for you guys to get back all your profits because you think you can make $1 or $2 more when you could end up holding and giving it all back, okay? So I'm going to buy more hood if it continues to fall. I guess I'll set a limit order to buy some more at, I'm thinking, I guess, 69.9. Yeah, 69.99. Nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on this one. We could see a bounce here. But I like to use that buying power to buy more day trading. To use it for more day trading. But I would consider buying more. But yeah, that's going to be our live stream for today, guys. I appreciate your time. Remember that there is a lot of volatility in the market. You know, just as fast as this sold off for QQQ, it can recover just as fast. It could also sell off if you're bullish and you were expecting this to push up higher. Just know that the markets don't care how you feel, how I feel. It's going to do whatever it wants. It's going to react however it wants. What we need to do as day traders is identify direction and opportunity and then take advantage of it. Get in, get out, make our money, and bounce and move on to another day. This is really why I emphasize being very cash heavy when you're a day trader, making sure that we don't have any open positions overnight, because anything can happen in the overnight and pre-market sessions, and we want to make sure that we have the most control possible when we first start out as a beginner trader, right? You want to be able to watch your trades go up or down. You want to be able to sell and buy in and out of your positions when it makes sense to you, and not be stuck watching your position go down overnight with no control and no ability to get out of that position. With that said, guys, I appreciate your time. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's end the year on a green note. Later, team.